Have you ever wondered how babies go from random babbling to learning and understanding how to speak a language fluently, all in just a few years? The truth is, they aren't just absorbing words at random. They actually have a specific natural method of language learning, which has also been studied by neuroscientists for decades. And once you understand this method, you can apply the same principles to learn Arabic faster and with far less effort. And that is exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. I constantly see people who are trying to learn Arabic. They've bought books, taken courses, and some can even translate an ayah word for word. But the moment they stand in salah, listen to a khutbah or read the Quran without a translation, they feel completely lost. And the reason why this happens is not because they're not trying hard enough or they're not intelligent. The problem is how they're learning. Most people try to learn Arabic through vocabulary lists, studying Arabic grammar, nahw and sarf through textbooks, translating the Quran word for word, obsessing over rules, verb forms and conjugation tables, repeating isolated phrases without actual context. But how do babies learn? Babies don't just learn by learning a vocabulary list or memorizing grammar rules. They learn by being constantly exposed to the language. So what you need to do is stop trying to just learn Arabic and instead start trying to be around Arabic. So now that we understand that the problem is the approach, let's break down how you're actually supposed to learn Arabic in the first place, using what babies naturally know. Babies first learn how a language sounds before they learn what the sound means. For example, a baby may hear the word mama 100 times before they actually know that it refers to a mother. Long before understanding its meaning, the brain has already learned the sound pattern mama and recognizes it whenever it's used. So how do you apply this in learning Arabic? Passive listening to Arabic before trying to decode its meaning. Just letting the ear adjust the sounds that don't exist in English. For instance, the throat letters, or even the heavy letters, similar to what you find me breaking down in my Arabic alphabet video. The goal at this stage is to be able to hear a letter or a word and know, I've heard that before you even know what it means. Quick announcement, if you're watching this on the 18th or before 6 p.m. on the 19th, I'll be hosting a free Arabic masterclass on the secret to mastering the Arabic language. It takes place on the 19th at 6 p.m. and I'd like for you to join us. So just click on the link in the description, sign up and you'll get your invite. However, if you're watching this after 6 p.m. on the 19th, then just carry on enjoying the video. Let's get back into the lesson. Then we move on to the next thing, which is pattern recognition. Babies have an incredible ability to automatically detect patterns in the speech they hear without anyone teaching them. Their brains constantly notice which sounds, syllables and words often appear together, which syllables tend to form words, and which sound combinations rarely happen, helping them figure out the structure of their language. So without realizing, they build a statistical model of the language. Take for instance the three words kitab, madrasa, haqiba. When they hear these words used in a sentence like ذهبت إلى المدرسة بحقيبتي وفيها كتابي. I went to the school with my bag and within it is my book. When they hear the words school, bag, book, all this creates word association, which is situational Arabic, or what we like to call thematic vocabulary, which then leads us to the next point, using context to understand meaning. This is probably the most fascinating part of language learning, and this is where babies go from hearing sounds to understanding words. I want you to imagine you're dropped off in China somewhere and someone walks up to you and says, sure, you have no idea what it means. Now imagine they keep saying, sure, sure, sure. You still have no clue. Just hearing the sound isn't enough. A baby has the same exact problem. To them, every word is just noise. So how does the brain figure out what the noise refers to? The answer is context. Babies don't just learn words by listening alone. They learn by paying attention to the context around what they're hearing. So say a mother picks up a ball. She looks directly at it, points to it, holds it in front of the baby, says, ball, look, ball. The baby notices four things happening at the same time. The adult is looking at something. The adult is pointing at something. A particular sound, ball, happens every time. After seeing this happen dozens of times, the baby's brain concludes that sound must refer to this round object. The word now has meaning. So what you need to be doing is learning words through stories, pictures, and situations rather than just translations. So instead of a flashcard with an isolated Arabic word and its English meaning, the word shows up inside of a scene, a story, an ayah, with a clear narrative so that the brain builds meaning, the same way it built ball through repeated situational exposure. And this is why I started a series called Arabic Through Stories, where I break down Arabic children's books, Stories of the Sahaba, so if you're interested, check in the link in the description below. But this is also why reading the Quran itself is such a powerful vocabulary tool. The same words repeat across different surahs in different contexts, giving the brain multiple real situations to pin the meaning to. The next thing, which is one of the most important things that helps a baby pick up language around them, is something which I like to call parentese. Parentese is basically the slowed down, exaggerated way that adults speak to babies. Like instead of saying come here to a baby, a parent would say come here, or who's a cute baby. This way of speaking helps because the sounds are stretched out, the pitch is higher, words are pronounced more clearly, and speech is slower. Imagine trying to learn an instrument. If someone plays something too fast, you probably can't copy it. But if they slow it down to half speed and exaggerate the movements, suddenly it's much easier to understand. That's what parentese does. It slows language down and makes important sounds stand out so that the brain can more easily separate and memorize the sounds. Now, how you can apply this into your day-to-day? Listen to simple, comprehensive Arabic every day. Read beginner content that matches your level. Don't just jump straight into native speed Quran recitations and advanced lessons. What you need is the equivalent of parentese first, Arabic that's slowed down and simplified enough for your current level that you can actually understand what's being said. Lastly, and this is something that I constantly emphasize to my students, which is constant trial and error. One thing about babies is that they're always constantly getting the reps in subconsciously. Babies don't wait until they can speak perfectly. They're constantly making sounds, babbling, copying what they hear and adjusting based on what happens. So a baby might spend weeks saying ba ba ba, or da da da, or ma ma ma. Most of these sounds don't mean anything at first. Here they're simply practicing how to use their lips, tongue and vocal cords. As they hear and receive responses from the people around them, they gradually refine those sounds until they become real words. Unlike adults, babies aren't scared to make mistakes. They perfectly make thousands of imperfect attempts, and that's one of the reasons they become fluent speakers so quickly. So what you need to do in order to implement this is continuously repeat familiar phrases you hear naturally. Try to speak regularly without worrying about making mistakes or getting every rule right. This is basically how you can learn Arabic and copy the exposure method that babies use. The traditional route teaches you about Arabic grammar, vocab, and translations before you've had exposure to actually use any of it. So you just end up being able to pass a grammar quiz but still can't follow the imam. This exposure approach completely flips that order. You build the intuitive feel first through real exposure and then grammar comes in, and that's what leads to retention, faster and much easier comprehension. If you want to actually learn Arabic this way, I want you to dive into my playlist of learning Arabic through stories, and I'll see you on that side. Assalamu alaikum.